So we're here to talk about all things necessary. And as you know, or may not know, we're standing in front of the most famous bathroom in public horticulture, what we call the Necessary at McNeel Corners. And what I love about sharing the story about the Necessary is I think that it really does highlight so many wonderful things about the Arboretum. Starting from the very beginning when it was constructed by a group of students led by Professor Will Hooker for a garden show in Charlotte, North Carolina. After that, it was relocated back to the Arboretum in 1996, where it became our restroom and where it stands today. So the structure itself has a tremendous history for the Arboretum. I hope you all enjoyed watching the video of how many photographs are taken in front of the Necessary, whether it's announcing a baby, an engagement, wedding photographs, senior prom, you name it, a photograph's probably been taken in front of our Necessary. And that's why we like to think it's one of the most famous ones out there. So going from 1996, it was actually had a new roof put on, I think in the year 2014. And just recently, it's gone through a renovation. And we'll talk more about how that renovation came to be in a little while. But I'll let Paige talk about the outside structure, our beautiful new copper roof, and how that came to be.
It's not all about plants here, which isn't a bad thing. We like plants, but getting to travel to a lot of gardens over my life, there's lots of signature things that you think of when you go there. And I personally have a whole file of pictures of different places and different gardens. One of those is bathrooms, oddly enough. Another is water fountains. So those signature things are things that you can remember and take back with you. The Necessary is no exception. You can see it from all parts of the Arboretum. When we drive in the morning, we can see it. And it was long overdue for a little bit of a redo and some spit and polish. So one of the obvious things that we needed to do was to replace the roof that Arlene mentioned. The previous roof had been whittled and sculpted by squirrels over the years, and it was in a state of disrepair. The structure is very, very solid, and we didn't want anything to happen to it. So we had donors that were interested in putting a new roof on it, and we went into the direction of what you see here. And going through the process of selecting somebody was a lot of fun. And we really lucked out to the folks that we finally settled on. What I consider true craftsmen. It's a beautiful structure. The architecture is really, really nice. It far exceeded what I thought it would be. And as you see it now, nice and fresh, because it's copper, it will patina. It will turn kind of a nice turquoisey green over the number of years. And one of the things that we're gonna be tasked with is coming up with a new color palette. So as we continue with that, it'll change over time. One of the things that we're gonna be doing within the next week or so is adding to the hardscape around it. We're gonna redo that and add an ADA structure that winds down to the front of it. So that'll be the main way to access it. Part of our mission to increase the accessibility throughout the garden, which is very important to us. And we're going to use some blocks that were recycled from the university, which is something else that we really like to do. So in addition to the outside, we'll eventually balance it out. There's a gazebo area or a lattice structure on the outside where the doors are. We'll balance that out in the future on the other side so that it looks kind of symmetrical and maybe create some event space or a place for storage or something. That's pretty much it for the outside. We'll be doing some new plantings, of course. Anytime we redo an area, we always look forward to that side of it. It's a good excuse for us to give a refresh with some new plants and take some stuff out of the nursery that you saw in the video of starting things from seed. We'll plant that up so it looks really nice and add to the diversity of the plant palette and make our new structure look even more special.
I really like how the people that designed the roof, they made special snow breaks that you really can't probably see on camera, but next time you're out here, come up and take a closer look. They're actually in the shape of maple leaves, and they go around the perimeter of the buildings. So do come up and take a look. They've really added their artistic and their craftsman talents to the new roof that you're seeing today. I did want to talk a little bit about the inside.
Yes.
It's also been upgraded. We've all been working really hard on trying to get the timeline open before spring. So the latest update I have on that is that our new concrete sinks are being installed on Friday, and they said they hope to have us fully functional by the end of next week. So plan a trip out so you can see the inside of the arbor, or the necessary as well. It really is looking pretty fabulous. So Alicia is, as you know, our Director of Philanthropy, and has put a tremendous effort in getting the funding for us to do a lot of things at the Arboretum. And we thank all of you watching who may work closely with Alicia and make things happen for us around here. We are so very grateful for that. But I'll let her talk a little bit about how we were able to do this tremendous upgrade on the necessary.
Thanks, Arlene. Awesome. I'm excited to tell you about a beautiful family that has helped a lot of these improvements come to fruition, and that is the Carol and Rick McNeel family. So the necessary, a whimsical building, which whimsical is the word that Carol used, just seemed to resonate with her personally when we looked around at the Arboretum, and she said, "I love that whimsical building. How can I help?" Loved hearing that. And so the necessary is named the Necessary at McNeel Corner after Carol's desires and the McNeel family. So thank you, Carol. She's a past board member for the Arboretum. What I love about philanthropy is in further discussions, particularly with Carol, she asked what our vision was for the Arboretum's necessary, and she knew about the new construction needed for the roof. And because of philanthropy, she allowed us to aim higher when it came to designing this beautiful copper roof. So without the financial support from Carol and Rick, we wouldn't have been able to do a lot of these projects, particularly the copper roof. So thank you to the McNeels. Gosh, what else? Just the exterior work that's happening. Their gift is supporting the exterior and interior work here at the necessary. So I really think for donors, there's something here on any scale that may align with your passions. And so I love working with her on that. And another exciting thing, and I'll take this opportunity to talk about it, is plan giving. So Carol and Rick have not only given outright funding for us to do projects now, but they've also put in their estate a planned gift to support the Arboretum. So there's a lot of unique ways that people can give and make an impact today and in the future for the JCRA. So today we're celebrating the $10 gifts like the one I made earlier, and we're celebrating the tens of thousands of dollar gifts and pledges that are made to this place. So thank you all for being a part of it.
I know another area that I was particularly excited to see us do is to replace our water fountains with bottle fillers.
Yep.
And so that too is a result of people giving and recognizing the needs of the Arboretum and finding a way that they can give that not only helps the Arboretum, but gives back to the community, as we're free and open to the public every day of the week, and we just couldn't do it without the gifts like we're getting today. We've also added a bottle filler out here at the necessary. That's one of the upgrades, which we're all delighted to have. So we'll have to close it down during the winter time, but I know many of us are bringing our own bottles out when we're visiting in public spaces. And now it's even more convenient at the Arboretum for you to kind of get water no matter where you are in the garden. So I was really excited to see that happen as well. And Greg did mention the accessibility. That's been, something that we've been working toward, I know, Alicia, for many years. And so we've got these great paths now going around our great lawn because of gifts, much like we're getting today. The Garden Club in North Carolina helped fund the path that now leads to the Rose Garden from the perennial border, that main path. So we're really excited to add the new accessibility path that will get people into the necessary when they're out in this area of the garden. And I'm particularly excited to see how the garden's going to change. You know, when it comes to plants around here, things are changing all the time. You know, trees are getting planted and trees are getting removed. But I think that Mark and you have a vision for the garden that's then going to be visible from when you hit the main path. You'll be able to see this new beautiful garden along with the upgrades on the necessary.